Alright, what's up, everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be recapping last night's playoff basketball. We had two game threes, some good games. We're going to talk about it here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. It's my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So the first game we had was Pacers-Knicks game 3. Pacers on the ropes. The Knicks looking to take a 3-0 series lead, and the Pacers come out and they win game 3 111 to 111 to 106. Just what a game this was. This was an insane game. Just the level of fight and competition in this game was just elite. Like this game was the literal kind of embodiment of playoff basketball right here. Like especially Eastern Conference gritty grind out type of playoff basketball. This was it. Like this was an excellent game. Knicks no OG Anunoby in this game. Jalen Brunson suffered a little little stinger with his elbow. I mean with his ankle early in this game. The Pacers were on him early. The Pacers came out with that desperation and intensity, knowing down 2-0 at home, we gotta win this game. And they came out with the intensity. They had a big lead in the first half. And I don't know, it felt like the first 2.5 quarters of this game, the Pacers were just running the Knicks out of the gym. Like Tyrese Halliburton was on fire. Pascal was hitting shots. Everybody was hitting. The bench was doing little things here and there. It felt like the Pacers just running away with the game. Yet, the Knicks were always right there. Like they're only down 5 at halftime. I feel like the Pacers were up 9. And at one point, I just felt like it was like, dang, the Knicks are just tired. At one point in the first half or either mid third quarter, I was like, dang, the Knicks just look tired right now. Like they're banged up, they're injured. The Knicks just look like they're out of it. And the Pacers are running away with it. And then Dante DiVincenzo just turns into Stephen Curry in a Knicks jersey, hits a couple shots. Then all of a sudden, the Knicks start flipping the game around. Jalen Brunson starts getting going. Alec Burks provides a huge spark. Josh Hart starts to do Josh Hart things. And all of a sudden, the Knicks outscored the Pacers 32-22 in the third quarter, and they held a lead going into the fourth. And the fourth quarter was very back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. A lot of stuff going on late in this game. But the Pacers close out thanks to Andrew Nembhard hitting a crazy step back three at the end of the shot clock to take the lead and seal the game. Brunson also missed a three-pointer trying to draw a foul on the next possession that sealed the game, and the Pacers ended up getting a win. Tyrese Halliburton, 35, 4 and 7 on 14 for 26 shooting, shot 6 or 16 from 3. This is a great game from Tyrese. I mean, he had I want to say 23 in the first half. Yeah, 23, 5 threes in the first half. Kind of slowed down a little bit in the third quarter, but then we got to the fourth quarter. He scored 7 points. He had a couple big shots when the Pacers were kind of reeling, and the Knicks were kind of running away with it. Not running away with it, but the Knicks were kind of have all the momentum. Tyrese had a couple shots, driving into the paint and scoring. Had an and one, had another couple layups, which really impressed me. Take that lead because Tyrese hasn't really been like that so far since, of course, the injuries and stuff in the second half of the season. So to see Tyrese come out and do that, hit those big shots to kind of help the Pacers take that lead and keep it right in it. Very impressed with Tyrese on that. Pascal, 26 and 7, shot 9 for 14. He hit big shots when it really mattered. They were trying to get him a lot involved in the fourth quarter, I saw, which did a solid job. There are definitely some times where he could have made some one mores. Like there was one play I remember where they blitzed Tyrese. Tyrese threw it in the short roll to Pascal. Pascal had Miles Turner in the corner wide open for the one more three-pointer, but said he went with it. I think he got fouled or something. But yeah, definitely could have made a lot more plays, but he did a good enough job, especially without OG. He did a solid job. Miles Turner, 21 and 10 with 3 blocks in this game. Neesmith had 10, and then Andrew Nembhard hits the big three-pointer. The bench for the Pacers wasn't as great as it has been the last couple games. The bench only combined for 14 points in this game, while Alec Burks himself had 14 off the bench for the Knicks. So that's a very interesting thing that they still won even without that bench production that they usually got. But Tyrese and Pascal kind of picked it up. And it's great to see the Pacers win a kind of a grinded out game like this. Usually games that go in this type of fashion where last couple minutes it's kind of like both teams are kind of injured and reeling and shots were short, not really going in. It felt like everything was so tight. Those are usually games that the Knicks win and the Knicks are comfortable in. But the Pacers being able to win a game like that, it speaks a lot. on this team and how much they've improved. And Tyrese coming out and having that performance last night, loved it. Loved to see it. For the Knicks, Donte DiVincenzo, 35 points, 7 3-pointers. I don't think he scored in the fourth quarter. Oh, he hit one shot in the fourth quarter. He hit one shot to start the fourth quarter. But that's it because the Pacers, they put Andrew Nembhard on him because they're like, you know what, we have to guard him now. But Donte DiVincenzo had an amazing game. Jalen Brunson, 26 points. He shot 10 for 26. Yeah, he was struggling. Aaron Nesmith did a great job guarding him. Aaron Nesmith just putting a lot of pressure on him. Brunson did hit a couple shots because it's Jalen Brunson, but Nesmith overall did a pretty good job on Jalen Brunson for most of this game. He did hit that cold side step three to tie the game before Nembhard hit that shot. That was a cold one. He also hit a couple shots in this fourth quarter, like 2 shots in the fourth quarter, I want to say, that were big. But yeah, just a tough game for Brunson. Obviously, he's dealing with the foot, the ankle. He's injured right now, and especially with the spacing, with them starting Precious Achiuwa instead of OJ Anunoby, you can definitely tell early that they're focusing all on Jalen Brunson, and it was kind of cluttered in there. But then they put Miles McBride in, and it got a little bit better. So yeah, Brunson, Josh Hart had a Josh Hart type game, 10 points, 18 rebounds, 4 assists. He did sit though. He only played 43 minutes instead of 48 minutes in this game. So Josh Hart finally was able to rest a little bit. And then the next bench, it's tough that you lose a game when your bench outscores the Pacers bench when that's not really going to happen again in this series. Alec Burks came off the bench after playing a total of 44 seconds in the entirety of the playoffs, comes in and puts up 14 points in 21 minutes. Just the ultimate pro right there, especially the first half, had a big first half. Miles McBride also had 10 points in this game. He hit a couple 3-pointers in the fourth quarter, I want to say. Oh, he hit 1 3 in the fourth quarter. That was big. But yeah, it's just rare to see. It's just rare for the Pacers to win. You look at the stats, you look at everything, and you feel like this is the Knicks win. It was the fourth quarter was low scoring. The last 5 minutes it was very tight. Your bench gave you 24 points. Donte DiVincenzo hit 7 threes in this game. Josh Hart had an 18 rebound game. The Pacers bench only scored 14 points in the game. It feels like, you shot 52% from three in this game. Like, it just felt like everything. You look at the box score and everything, it felt like this should be a Knicks win. Yet the Pacers come out and take this one thanks to Andrew Nembhard hitting that shot. So shout out to the Indiana Pacers for doing that. They're gonna have to win one more now, game 4 back in Indiana, and we'll see what happens in that one. But I'm very excited. This was just, again, amazing game. Amazing playoff game, man. I felt tired watching this game. I didn't even play. And then we had Nuggets Timberwolves game 3 in Minnesota. Nuggets back against the wall. They come out and smack the Timberwolves, winning 117-90. Now it is 2-1. The road team has won every game so far in this series. Yeah, Denver came out from the get-go. Jamal Murray. I said in my last game, after talking about game 2, I said in game 3, Nikola Jokic is going to have to have one of those, I'm the best in the world type performances. I thought that's what it was going to take because the way the Timberwolves defense was locking in on everybody else, I personally just felt like for the Nuggets to win, Jokic is going to have a 40-something, like a superstar type game, you know? But I didn't account for that they had 3 days off and that Jamal Murray would look a lot better. And Jamal Murray came out from the get-go and set the tone. He had 18 points in the first half. Looked his best in the playoffs, honestly. Like, he was hitting mid-ranges, getting to the paint, hit a couple 3-pointers, and that kind of set the tone for everybody else. Then Jokic started to get going. Then Michael Porter Jr. started to hit a couple shots. Then KCP was doing good. Justin Holiday hit a couple threes off the bench. Christian Brown hit a 3 off the bench. And all of a sudden, it was like, oh, shoot, here we go. And for Minnesota, Anthony Edwards not really being as aggressive as he usually is. The defense wasn't as crisp as it was. The bench didn't really give as big of a performance in this one either. And the Nuggets just run away with it in the second. And in the third quarter, they just put the pressure on them all the way. 37-25 outscored in the third. And the Nuggets end up blowing them out and get the win. Jokic finishes with 24, 14, 9, 3, and 3 on 10 for 18 shooting. Didn't really do much of the work till the third quarter. Third quarter, he had 13 points on 5 or 6 shooting. The first half, he only shot 3 for 8. The Timberwolves defense has been really, really good on Jokic. But great game from him. And then Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, I feel like, was the guy in this game. He set the tone early, hitting shots and him being aggressive and him, seeing him do that, I think put a lot of confidence in everybody else. Jamal Murray, 24, 4, and 5 on 11 for 21 shooting. MPJ, 21 points. He had 4 3-pointers in this one. Aaron Gordon, 13. KCP had 12, 4, and 4. He was a plus 31 in this game as well. And then, yeah, you get a couple threes from Justin Holiday, a three from Christian Brown. Reggie Jackson has 6 points, and that's just as much you need. I mean, they shot 48% from three, 53% from the field, only missed 3 free throws. Uh, Won the rebounding battle, 40-32, 8 offensive rebounds in this game, forced 14 turnovers. The Nuggets just did everything well in this game. This looked like the Denver Nuggets that we know. This was the Denver Nuggets we know, where Jokic is doing much, Jamal Murray is getting his stuff, MPJ is hitting his threes, KCP and Aaron Gordon are doing their little things. They're forcing turnovers, they're hitting shots. They look like the well-oiled machine again. This is what they look like. This was the Nuggets, a desperately needed performance, obviously, from the Denver Nuggets, and they come out and get the job done. That's they're saying. You're down. Oh, you lose 2 games at home, down 2-0. The Nuggets are probably one of the teams you trust the most in making this and making light or you know fighting off adversity and fighting off their situation, being the reigning champions. And they did that last night. For Minnesota, they just didn't really have it in this game. Like they just did not have the same amount of intensity, the same amount of deep lock. They weren't as locked in. They weren't locked in. And Denver came out with their lives on the line, with desperation, and did the job. While Minnesota did the opposite. Minnesota came out. They were a little bit too passive, weren't as locked in and aggressive, and they got smacked. Anthony Edwards only took 15 shots. He had 19, 6, and 5. He took a lot of accountability after the game, saying, I got to be better. I got to be more aggressive and stuff, which I think that was the right answer. He should have been. Anthony Towns only had 14. 3 for 9 from Mike Conley. The team shot 43% from the field still, but they were 10 for 33 from 3, 30% from 3. I mean, Anthony Edwards was 3 for 8. Mike Conley was 1 for 5. Jaden McDaniels 0 for 2. Nickeil Alexander-Walker 0 for 3. Jordan McLaughlin came in and got some minutes, was 0 for 3. Yeah, they missed 7 free throws in this game. Got out rebounded. 14 turnovers in this game. 20 fouls. Yeah, well, never had 25 actually. But it's just a tough game for Minnesota. Coming off the adrenaline that they probably felt after game 1, and then game 2 they destroyed Denver. Those 3 days off might have kind of settled them a little bit. That could have been what it was. That 3 days off kind of took them out of it a little bit, settled them down. They weren't running on flames. Because maybe if they get 1 day off and they come back in game 3, maybe things are different. I don't know. I'm not using that as an excuse. That's just how it works, you know. But Minnesota came out flat, and Denver took advantage of it. So great job from Denver from doing that, keeping their lives on the line. Now that's gonna be a huge game 4. Obviously, that's gonna be a huge game 4. Can Minnesota kind of bring it back? That intensity level, I'm sure game 4 is gonna be an amazing game. I would bet on it. Game 4 is gonna be a really tight, come down to the last couple minutes type of game because we got 2 blowouts in a row. And I think game 4 is gonna be a huge game. Everyone's gonna come to play for that one. But yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content right here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.